Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is Benjamin. Welcome to another GameMaker tutorial. Today we're going to be doing more for the 3D Magic RPG. And you can see, I just really quickly, let's see. First off, I created a new website. So you can check that out if you want. I've still got some work to do on it, but I've got the basics in there so you guys can check it out. There will be a link in the description. I'm going to be putting my GameMaker book on the website as well. I just want to make things look a bit more professional and make things easier for you. I'm working to get Amazon payments integrated in for my book, since I know not everybody uses PayPal. Just to give some more options if you're interested. So the first thing I did on this tutorial was I just made a new button, and I just kind of took the corners out of this gray box, then gave it a white box for the second one. And it's 64 by 64 instead of 32 by 32. And then I made a new sprite, which is just a this white border that fits around the sprite button, and I just named this sprite selected button, and both of them have a 0, 0 origin. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a new object. We're going to call this object selected button, I think. Yeah. And we're going to give it that sprite of that. We're going to go into our room. Let's see, the spells room, and right now we have the second one selected because we set that in our the ice spell is what we have selected. We set that in our player stats properties. Probably what we'll want to do is set it to the fire spell, object fireball, and let's go back into here, get rid of that, and put the border on that one so that we have that one selected. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come in here for not the create event, sorry, add an event, add a room, no, not a room start. Yeah, maybe a room start. Yeah, room start works. Create event works too. Actually, let's just do a create event because we're going to keep this. Set the room to persistent. Room persistent equals true. Sweet, this is just going to represent which spell that we have selected. Now go into the spell button parent, go into the left pressed, and do object selected button.x equals x and object selected button.y equals y. So what this is going to do, it's going to make it so when we click on a spell, it's going to move the selected button onto the button that we have selected. So you can see, you'll want to make it so you can actually see this. I'm going to give it a depth of -10 because we couldn't see it before. And now when we come in here, you can see we've selected that one. We can also switch and select that one. Now we have the ice spell. If we come back in, it didn't keep it persistent. Let's come into our player step event. No, not the step event. Yeah, where am I controlling the E? Is that in my player stats? Oh yeah, press the E key. Room persistent equals true. Else go to room level. Room persistent equals false. Oh, that doesn't work. So we need to go into the object player stats, the E pressed event, and take this out because that doesn't work. There we go. Now it's working. Now we've got the ice spell selected, but we can switch back to the fire spell, and it works like a charm. So what I'm going to do is I've just got those spells to the basics right now, but what we need to do now is draw the player's stats to the screen. We're going to use the player stats object, so come into the player stats object, add an event, add a draw event, and then do draw GUI. And we're actually coming to the create event for this object, and we're going to do set the GUI size, and it's GUI, no, I always forget this function. I hate it. I can't remember its name. Let's see. Display set GUI size. Okay. And we need to set it to the size of our room, which is 640 by 360, I think. Let's check. Let's see. Room 1, view, not the room size, but the view size, 640 by 360. That is correct. Perfect. Now come into the draw GUI event that we created, drag over a code, and draw the player's stats. So we're going to do if room does not equal room spells. Let me think. That's not a good way to do this, because we might have this object in rooms that are not level rooms. So let's do if, oops, we already have that. If instance exists object player, that's good. If the player exists then in the room, then we'll probably want to draw its stats. So let's do draw text ext color, and we're gonna do room height, room, 32. This is going to be the player's level. We're going to have to mess around with these values a little bit. So let's do 32 room height minus 32. String, let's do level semicolon plus global dot level, I think. I don't remember exactly what. It's been a while. I don't remember. Yeah, global dot level. Okay. Whoops. Where am I? Oh, draw GUI event. Global dot level separation. I don't need this. I don't need this extra stuff. Let's just do draw text color, not ext color. So we've got our color as C white, C white, C white, and C white. And our alpha value is going to be 1. Okay, let's just see if that works. Let's test it. See how it looks. We get an error. Why do we get an error? Oh, I know why. Go back into our player stats. You guys are probably laughing at me. You're like, well, that was a novice mistake. So let me explain it, just because some of you might be like, oh, I have no clue what he did wrong. That looked right to me. So what we have is we have a string value right here, and we're adding the level to the string value because we want it to show level and then the actual level, right? The problem with this plan is that this is a number, not a string. So we can't add a number to a string. So we have to turn this number into a string value. And for that, we can just call the string function on this number. And that's actually in my book. So it's kind of obnoxious that I totally missed it in this tutorial. But yeah, you'll have to forgive me. Okay, so it's clearly not working. Oh, I did room width or room height. No wonder. Oh, I'm making a bunch of novice mistakes here. We need this to be the view's height. So view, h view, and then view current. So we can just grab whatever view we're in. I'm actually going to store this in a variable var view h equals boom. So that way we can just do view h, view height. So we don't have to, there might be more cases where we're going to use this number. So it's good to call that once, get its height once, and then just store it in a variable. That's actually pretty good practice. It still didn't work. What am I doing wrong? View height. View height. Let's see. So we know the player exists in the room. Let's just draw some text at 32 and 32. And let's just have it say test. Just to make sure that this draw GUI event is actually drawing onto the screen and we can kind of see what it looks like. So yeah, our test is drawing. So something's wrong with our math. Let's go into here. The view height. View, H view, view current. Let's mess around with this value real quick. Minus 32. Let's set this to 640 because we're or no, 360. So we're assuming that the height of the room is 360, or the height of the view, which is 360. So that works. So why isn't our view height grabbing the correct value? View, H view, view current, show message, view H. Let's just see, this is another debug here. I'm just using show message to show me what that size is. 480. What? Oh, that was a bad idea. It's gonna do it constantly. So why is our view height returning 480? When it's clearly 360. I mean, are you seeing that? That's 360. 240. The vertical border. That's wrong. This should be 320 by 180. The height of our view, and I did view current. Let's try 0 here. Let's see what happens. That's the weirdest thing ever. 360. The current view. I do not understand why that was returning 480. Oh well, I'm not gonna worry about that right now. Let's just do 0 because we know our current view is 0. So that is the weirdest thing I have ever seen, honestly. Okay. I don't know why the current view... Was it because of the following on the player that I had that number wrong? That could have been it, I guess. I don't know. Regardless, our level now is shown on the screen, so we can see what level we are. Let's pull that up just a little bit. Come back into our player stats, and we're going to pull this up to -64. And let's draw the health. So draw, let's see, let's do draw rectangle color 32, view H minus 32. We need another X, which will be 32 plus 100. I guess I can just do 132. No. Yeah, that's right. 132. Then the other view H will be minus, I don't know. What are we going to subtract from it? 4 minus 4. Whatever, we'll try that. That probably won't look very good. Why is, oh, because I don't have the U in color. Now it's showing my arguments on here. C red, C red, C red, C red, and false. So let's actually copy this. Okay, first let's put some comments. Draw the level, because this is going to get crazy here. So it's going to be nice to have comments. Draw, just help us find stuff easier. Draw the health. Okay, and we're going to have another one here that draws on top of this. And we're going to make this true. We're going to change all these to white. So this one will draw an outline, okay? Let's just see what that looks like real quick. That looks horrible. That's okay. So now let's go into the player's stats again. And instead of doing this -64, let's do -48. On this, instead of doing -4, let's do -16 on both of these. And change all of these reds to maroon. Just for now. We'll actually go in and alter the color on these. I'll show you how to create your own colors that you can use inside of code when you're drawing stuff like this. Okay, that looks a little bit better. So I'm going to move the health bar down a little bit more. So come into the player's stats again. And you know what we can do? Let's see. I'm trying to remember. Red. Let's try the last two. Is it X, Y, X, Y? I don't remember the order of these colors. Let's try this and... No. Yeah, I was right. No. I want both the Y's to be red. So that would be X, Y, C, red. We'll have... I don't know. That might not even work. Let's, instead of subtracting 16, subtract 24 from this. Let's pull it up. You know what? Subtract 16. It's hard to remember what it looked like before. But instead of subtracting 32 here, do 28 maybe. I don't know. Let's actually take this right here and copy it. And this one, instead of subtracting 28 and 16, let's subtract 12, 12, 4, and 4. And we'll change this to C Navy, Navy, C blue, and blue. And this will be our mana. And see what that looks like. That doesn't look too bad. It looks I got the two values wrong on the red and the blue. Kind of gives it an interesting little gradient, I guess. That actually looks kind of good though. I would change the colors. Let's change. So let's say that it's red, red, blue, blue. Let's do the first two maroon, first two navy, last two red, last two blue. So currently those aren't real time, which is fine for now because we can't even take damage. There we go. Now we've got a nice little gradient on those. And so the nice thing about using the drawing to the GUI layer is that it follows the view really nice. We'll want to reposition those a little bit, even some more. So what I would do is I would create a base for all of them, so you can alter the base once you get them relative to each other, relative to that base. And I might do that here in the next episode. But we're also going to need to draw whichever spell we have down there. Oops, didn't mean to put that W in there. Let's move everything from this ugly 32 over to an 8. And instead of 132, we're going to do 108 on all these. I'm just going to pull it back over to the other edge a little bit because it looks weird, clear away from that edge. But we're getting close here. We've got like a little GUI down there in the corner that the player can use to reference their stats. And maybe I'm actually going to do more custom stuff, I think, for the way that that's set up down there. But if you're not a custom GUI type of person, this actually doesn't look too bad. I've got the gradient on it and it looks pretty nice. So I think for now I'm going to end this video because what we need to add next is we need to add maybe we need to add in some enemies so we can actually subtract from the health and make it so it's actually dynamic and not just taking from this. I mean, right now we're just drawing it over 108, right? But what we're actually going to end up doing is we're going to make this value right here relative to how much health we have, so that when we subtract from the health, it will actually subtract from our health bar, right? So I'll show you guys how to do that in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure and like, favorite, and subscribe, and check out my new website in the description as well. And I will talk to you guys later.